Hi, my name's Vicky from the Spellbound Bead Company, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a cute pair of little witch earrings. So you're going to need two 4mm facets for the head, two 6mm facets for the body, two flower beads for the skirt, two 6mm, we call these lily flowers, for her hat, two colours in the size 10 seed beads, a pair of ear wires, a pair of eye pins and 4 head pins. Okay, so we're going to start by making her legs. We work her from the bottom up. So what we're going to do is we're going to trim these head pins down so they're about 3 centimetres long. So if you just put them on the ruler, and that's about 3 centimetres, and then we're going to cut those there. Okay, make sure you keep hold of the ends of the wire. You don't want those flying off and getting caught in anything. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to thread on 2 black, a green and a black seed bead, and then we're going to turn a loop on the top of this head pin. So grip the end of your pin in your pliers, make sure nothing's sticking out, and then you're just going to roll round until the cut end of the pin meets the side. Put your pliers back in and bring that round so you've got a lollipop shape. Okay, just make sure that's shut. And again on the second pin, put your beads on. So 2 black, a green and a black. I'm going to turn another loop on the end here. So again, make sure nothing's sticking out. You don't want to make an oval shaped loop. Turn that round and then bring it back. So you've got the lollipop shapes there, and that's your witch's legs. So then what we're going to do is we're going to use a pair of flat nose pliers, and we're just going to twist open this loop on the bottom of the eye pin. So grip it flat and twist. Put your legs on like that, and then close your loop back up. Okay, make sure that's nice and secure. That's not quite tight, I can see that now. You don't want your witch's legs falling off halfway through, you might get hexed. Okay, so there we go. So we've got an eye pin with the 2 legs attached at the bottom. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put on the flower bead for the skirt. So you want to do it with the cup of the flower facing downwards. Body bead, and we're just going to use a little black bead to give her a tiny little neck, and put a head bead on and put a hat on top of the head. Okay, now we're going to trim this down so that it's about 8mm above the top of the bead here. So luckily for me that's about the width of my little fingernail. So we're just going to put your cutters on and then cut that off, and again just make sure you're not pinging the ends of your wire off everywhere. So round nose pliers again, and what we want to do is make sure that this loop above the fairy sits in the same plane as the loop underneath the fairy, so that way when you put the fishhook on, the legs will be pointing in the right direction. So I need to try and make this loop parallel here, so I'm just going to put a bend in the wire just to stop everything moving, and then put the pliers on, and we're just going to roll and straighten. There we go. Oops. And then just check that that's sitting in the same plane. So that's great. That is, if it wasn't, if you just grip the loop underneath with your pliers and the loop at the top with your pliers and just twist, so like that, you can just make sure they're parallel, and then both your pins will be sitting in the right direction. Okay, so that's her body and her legs. We now need to make her some wings. So we're going to use, for each wing, we're going to use a 20cm length of 0.315 wire, and we're going to use the black seed beads here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 15 beads onto the wire. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's just bring those in a little bit. And if you bring them down so they're sitting in the middle of the wire, just pinch the two ends together and just put 2 twists, 1, 2, and that's the first half of your wing made. Okay, then we're going to pick the longer end of the wire if you've got one, and again we're going to put on 15 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and we're going to bring those down to that first loop, bend the end round, and again we're just going to hold that in place and just give that 2 twists. 1, 2. Okay, so there's your top wings, and now on the bottom wings again pick the longer length of the thread end, wire end to work with. For the bottom wings we're going to pick up 12. So 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and again bring it up and round, and twist. Ooh, need to make that a little bit tidier, don't want lots of wire showing. So again 2 twists. Oh no, I haven't got all of the beads caught in that loop, so I'm going to untwist that, make sure all the beads are down. Now do be careful, don't do this too often because you will you can over twist your wire, and if you do that then it can snap, so just be careful. So just make sure all of your beads are in the right place and twist that back tight again. So that's those, and again the longer end of the wire, pick up another 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Bring your loop round and twist, and there you have a set of wings. So what you're going to do now is you're going to offer this up to the fairy. You're going to use one end of the wire between the flower and the 6mm facet, and the other end of the wire is going to sit above the 6mm facet and the seed bead that you've got there. So I'm going to use this shorter end of the wire out of the way so I don't wrap it in by accident. I'm going to use the longer end of the wire just around above the facet here. I don't want to say around her neck because that makes it sound like I'm strangling her. And we're just going to wrap that round. 1, 2, pull it nice and firmly. 3 times around there. And then the bottom end of the wire we'll bring down and we'll wrap 3 times around the bottom. So 1, whoops, little bit fiddly, so take your time. 2, 3, there. And she might look a little bit like a mangled mess at the minute, but I promise she will come back in a sec. Then what we're going to do is we're going to trim that end off in there, and then use either your thumbnail or a pair of pliers, just tuck that end in out of the way, make sure you've got no little sharp bits, and then again I'm going to rearrange your wings and just pull that wire out of the way, make sure it's nice and tight, and again just be careful, take your time doing this, you don't want to cut through a wing by accident. There. So there we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to open the loop on an ear wire. Again, twist, don't pull. Twist that open and attach her there. And there she is. And then just to finish her off, we're just going to put a little bend in her feet. So if you just move the black bead out the way and just put the bend above the green, just to give her a foot there. And then if you want to give her a little bit of attitude, we can just, and I think this actually looks a bit better if you do it with your fingers rather than the pliers, just put her in a little bit of a knee bend there. Ooh, make sure she's nice and straight. And there you have your witch. Repeat this for the second one, and then you've got a fancy pair of earrings to wear Halloween any time of the year.